This is a Thompson Cast. I am L. Thompson. I've been looking at the agricultural industries in foreign countries for quite some time, and I'm trying always to get ahead of the curve as far as analyzing whether or not there's a political risk to foreign direct investors from the United States in markets in foreign countries that are primarily driven by agriculture. And I am now starting to look a little bit more closely at Europe. And one of the reasons is that Britain just went through one of the wettest summers in 100 years. And Europe in general is now going to be experiencing, in my opinion, a higher amount of cost as far as agricultural production, which is going to impact foreign direct investment from United States investors on the return on investment end. The weather is clearly the main concern, particularly in Britain with the wet weather, which is of a great concern to me. And the price of grain is now starting to reflect all of the other issues, including drought and large quantities of rain in parts of Europe. And when you have the culmination of Mother Nature's two most potent forces, water and heat, you're going to also have to make adjustments in how you invest in agricultural markets in foreign countries. Now we are looking at some of the poorest harvests in quite some time in Europe. And primarily it is due to natural conditions, once again, heat and water. And because there's going to have to be more money expended as far as the preservation of these markets by farmers and by people who actually provide the tools of labor in these markets, you're going to have a lower return on a foreign direct investment in corporations and actual farms that produce large quantities of goods that are shipped overseas or within a country. The very fact that Europe produces about 300 million tons of cereal each year, and this, in comparison to the 400 million tons that the United States produces, gives you an idea of how massive of a problem this can be if it goes on for a long period of time. People are not simply investing in agricultural markets in Europe just to do it. They're doing it for multiple reasons, and number one reason, obviously, is because they want to return that investment. But when you have a higher cost of doing business by the companies and the farms that you are investing in, your return is going to be much lower. The political risk here is the fact that the nations of Europe have done very little to anticipate or mitigate the damage of Mother Nature. They've done very little to insulate the farms and businesses that are agriculturally driven. And the result is clearly that foreign direct investment is going to take a hit. So the political risk, in my opinion, is the lack of clear, concise policies in Europe, particularly in the European Union and with the European Union, to address the issue of drought and rain. On the other end of the spectrum, there is also a huge political risk that has been addressed by countries in Asia, such as China, because they are now investing in Russian grain. Russian grain, and they are also investing in countries that are in Europe that produce a large amount of grain to feed the Chinese people. They, on the other hand, may be impacted in the same manner because nothing has been done proactively to prevent the issues that are developed because of a large quantity of unexpected rain or heat. So overall, globally, we are looking at much higher grain prices, even in countries that have tried to mitigate their own internal risks, their political risks, by going externally to Europe. European countries have not done enough to mitigate the damages of rain and heat. And this is the major political risk to those who are engaged in the foreign direct investment in agricultural markets in Europe. This has been the Thompson Cast. I am Mel Thompson.